I mean, let's face it, many of us already know that we need to increase our income in some way, shape, manner, or form. But let me tell you something there's another way to increase your income without going to work, literally, without going to work to earn it in that manner, without trading your time and effort to get a couple of bucks. Let's talk about this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. How you doing today? Hope everybody's doing well as always. So let's increase our income by cutting back as the first resort. Yeah. I know I'm going to get a lot of people who don't mind that idea, and with many good reasons. I do get the it factor on that. Just want to let you know. I used to do a lot of polls about it, and the polls always turn out the same way. People much rather cut back. But let's talk about some specific ways to do just that. Number one, this is just from observation, experience, and I just thought I'd share. Reduce trips to the hair salon and let's stop going too many times to the Fresh Donut Bakery. I'm just going to rattle off a few instances, okay? Let's think about them. So, reducing trips to the hair salon or haircut place, barber, whatever you call it, fresh, or reduce your instances to that beautiful Fresh Donut Bakery. I get it. Yeah, it smells great. Yeah, they're fun and delicious. I get it, but reduce our trips and frequencies to the Fresh Donut Bakery, expensive pizza parlors. We've gone over that a few times, but it's true. I mean, this is real life and it's true. Let's see, avoid expensive sporting events. Now, let's pause on that one for a second. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's nothing like being there sometimes. Actually, sometimes it's better to watch it from your armchair in the comfort of your own climate controlled living room, especially on a hot, sticky summer day. Let's think about that for a minute. With a tall lemonade next to you. You see where I'm going with that? So, if you could catch the same sporting event, okay, at home televised, that's a great way to save a couple of bucks. I'm just saying, we don't think of these things, but it all adds up. Same goes for concerts. I get it. I agree. Nothing like being there, but sometimes the next best thing is just okay. And you don't have to fight any traffic going to or from. Am I right? Or am I right? I believe that I am right. All right. So cut back on the expensive sporting events and or slash concerts that you could have gone to directly, but you opted to stay home instead and save that money. That's a savings. That is a savings. Okay. Oh, by the way, nobody ever mentions cutting down on the Uber type style rides, on those taxi services and things like that. Cutting down. I didn't say cut out. Sometimes you need them. And that's really good to have the monies available for those times that one needs them. Am I right or am I right? All right. Next, use a two-letter word. Now here's where it could be a little sticky. And I mentioned this two-letter word on a number of videos because this two-letter word, in my honest opinion, is quite powerful. What two-letter word am I talking about? The word no. Sometimes we have to or should say no, and we tend to let other people, in a way, without realizing it, intimidate us in a way by not using that word. Sometimes we have to use that word. Did you ever get an invitation to something that you really kind of like, milk toast about? You really don't want to go. Let's be honest. I'm putting it on the table. Did you ever get an invitation to somewhere or something you really just, it's not of interest to you? You don't want to hurt the person's feelings. I get that. But also, if the place is far away, if it means you have to spend a lot of money that you don't have, this is where another two words come in handy. Not two letters, but two words. Remember this? Self honesty. Self honesty is very, very important, especially, it's always important. Okay, we need to be honest with ourselves, but especially when it comes to our financials. Be honest, if you do not have the funds at that time for that thing, that you are actually milk toast, what do I mean by milk toast? Like you really don't want to do it. Milk toast about going to. And it's not something that you need to do. You have to exercise the NO muscles. What, Jen? Yes. I know it's not easy. I myself, I'm not a fan of turning certain things down. I'm not. I'm not. But I'm also a realist, and I'm also, especially as I got older, I'm also definitely much more like, Jan, you really don't want to do this thing. You don't do it. If someone is going to judge you, if you will, because you declined an invitation that doesn't mean that much to you, people are going to think about you the way they're going to think about you, whether you go to that thing or you don't go to that thing. Let's rewind this again and let it sink in. Okay? People are going to think things about you, whether you are there or whether you are not there. So if you're milk toast about it, I'll just call it milk toast, okay? So if you're milk toast about it and really don't want to be there, then don't be there. Be there because you really want to be there. Be there because you want to celebrate the people that you're going to this XYZ thing to. But if you really don't want to be there, please don't go. It is an incredible waste of money, time, effort, and a lot of stress. A lot of stress. That's my opinion on that one. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below how you feel about that and how do you handle matters of that nature. Just saying. All right. So, yeah, using a two-letter word like no is powerful. All right. And as I got older, honestly, I just don't like to waste my time on stuff I truly don't want or need to do. Like I said, I've noticed that as I've gotten older. Time waits for no one. Time waits for no one. I cannot push back the river. I could stand there against the tide all I want, and I could take my two hands, and even try to do it with my hands and feet. No, doesn't work. You can't push back the waves. Time is going to go by anyway, and that dreaded event that you don't want to go to or feel milk toast about is going to occur, and it's going to pass. Let's try that again. That dreaded event that you don't want to, or have to, or need to go to, or cannot afford in your budget because you are realistic about it. It is going to come, it is going to go. And for those who really, 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 really value your friendship, despite the fact that you may not have attended that thing, whatever that thing may be, if they really, really, really value you as a person and a friendship, guess what? They'll pick up the phone and say, "Hey, how you doing?" I mean, does that make sense? Okay. So we can increase our income by making sensible, logical choices that really, honestly work for ourselves. Okay. So cutting back is truly, I feel it's easier. Cutting back on those, you don't need one haircut a month. Maybe you could go every 6 weeks. I know we visited that topic. But if you do the math on it, considering what haircuts cost in certain areas of everywhere USA, for example, do the math. Oh, that's another thing. I hate to say this, but remember math? Like, you know, didn't like to teach math. I didn't like learning math when I was a child. But we have to be honest. We need math. Math at the end of the day is our friend. So we need to do the math. If you're on a venture or a mission, let's say set a goal. Say this to yourself: I need to cut back $300 a month in expenses. You see what I did there? I named it. And now, when I go through my everyday living and habits and spending habits, I want to reclaim it. I want to revise it. It isn't just like taking it off, on a chopping block. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Smash that down. It's going to go. Smash that down. It's going to go. Like cutting things out, like with a scissor, an imaginary scissor in the back of our mind. No, 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 no. It is not like that at all. It's like really thinking about it. Take that hour or two. If you have an hour or two, Well, I don't have time. Make the time, because that hour or two may save you a lot of money. A lot of people, they take on extra jobs without doing the math first. Uh, oh, yeah, but that salary sounds real good. Okay, it might, and maybe it is, and hopefully, yes. But did you do all of the math? Did you factor in the cost of your transportation? Do you have to get dressed up? Do you have to, you have to like ask yourself all these things. Then do the taxes that are taken out, blah, 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 blah. You have to establish a salary requirement before you even respond to an ad for that job. Does that make sense? Makes sense for me. I need to know my salary requirement before I accept the job. Which, by the way, for the rest of my doggone days, I'm not doing that anymore. Once a person gets used to being self sufficient, it's awfully hard for them to go back to that. But that's a thing that is necessary, and we all need places to go and employers, and so grateful for that. And you could have all of it. You can have all of it. But let's start from the basics. Increasing our income by cutting back should and could be the first thing that you do. By doing that, you may not need to go back to that salary W 2 extra type job. You may be just perfectly happy with the cutbacks and it works out. Take your time, take your due diligence, and do that. In my opinion, it could only help and it couldn't hurt. Have an amazing, fantastic day, everybody. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. Super thanks are forever appreciated. Thank you.